Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Puan Mazna binti Sulaiman, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Kanan Sektor Pembelajaran Bahasa, to all officers from JPN, district and all beloved English teachers. So disclaimer, so for this session is going to be a lot of disclaimer. I'm quite nervous right now. It's not quite, I'm going to film in any minute. So just bear with me. I'm trying to keep this light. So before I begin, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Siti Salbiah binti Salleh. You can call me Shelby. And currently I'm teaching in Academy Sains Pendang. And I am from Pendang district. So I am deeply honored to speak right now. And I'm going to focus a few things on how we as first timer, this is my first batch of SPM, and the strategies that we implemented in our teaching strategies, and also the closing. So before I start my sharing, you can see that I'm really nervous, so just bear with me. I'm quite dramatic, so just play along as well. Just like imitate fake laugh or whatever. I'm going like to share a personal story, a very personal to me, on how I developed this strategy. So I once asked a student of mine, his name is Evan Lim Hong Yang. I love him dearly. So I asked the class to write about a favorite song. And then without hesitation, he said and come to me, "Teacher, I don't have one. I don't know what to write." And then it was supposed to be a really fun and engaging lesson because it's about favorite song. I would like to share my Taylor Swift song favorite playlist, Spotify list, and then suddenly it turned out to philosophical banter where we debated the meaning of song, whether that we can include instrumental music or perhaps national anthem as a part of a response. How do you justify that you like national anthem? And then another student who are really brilliant on paper, but froze and didn't say anything when we did speaking simulation. And when I asked him personally, he gave me a really delayed response, and he said, "Teacher, my brain won't stop thinking about what could go wrong." So this is they are not these English students. They are highly driven, motivated, gifted learners. But it hit me. Gifted doesn't mean easy. It means complex, asynchronous, and merely a human. And before I delve into the strategies, just like to buy some time because I've really short, simplified strategy, I would like to perhaps share the myth of giftedness. There are widespread belief that gifted learners are easy to teach. As actually, it's not. It's not easier. It's just different. And I'm not trying to be analytical and compare my sob stories with others. It's just that I want to share about giftedness as well before we dive into the strategies and the justification. And gifted learners might understand things quickly, but they face a lot of limitation, unique emotional and behavioral challenges and problems. For example, perfectionism, the one that I mentioned just now. Anxiety, rigidity, it means that they're stuck in their own ways. If we say that they need to write article, they won't do that. They won't to stuck in their ways and writing very overly complicated stories, and then they weren't able to finish on time. And they are also afraid of failure, just like us. And then some are neurodivergent, some are overthinkers, and that's why I came up with not a one-size-fits-all approach, because I can't have the template because they are very unique and different in their own ways. So a little bit of background of my school. My school name is Sekolah Menengah Sains Pendang, but we are widely recognized as ASP or the Academy, and it houses 289 gifted students where they have or possess IQ more than 120. Yes, 120. And you might be laughing. The candidate for this first time batch of SPM is 11 students. Only 11 students. And they are 15 and 16 years old students. Okay. So it means that they are very advanced in intellectual, but they have a gap in their emotional management. Okay. And so since that, I come up with a strategic, layered, and consistent interpretation. Why is it consistent? Because I had the privilege to teach them since they were in Asas Satu, or we would say Form 1. Okay. So I'm going like to talk about short-term strategy first. Consistent prep classes where we focus on drilling, grammar, SPM writing techniques, and essentially it's not innovation, but repetition and consistency, because they need the structure. They need to feel safe when they are answering SPM questions. Because they have really divergent thinking. They could give you very out of the box question and it will not be accepted with the mark scheme. Yes. And we also have private clinics, hospital, Thursday talk labs, what we call it. And this actually were safe zone for students who weren't able like to speak impromptu, and they practice speaking and listening. Sometimes it's just role plays, sometimes it's just simulation, and sometimes it's just casual conversation about what is your favorite restaurant, what is your favorite dish, because they can be indecisive in terms of like simple matters. So it's just like being a friend, like all the teachers say that we need like to be close to them so that they are able like to understand our intention and this is the good thing for them. And then I think that we also fully utilize the time that we had with them because it's boarding school. We have young tutors programs, guru muda, and all high performing students in each skill. It means that they have different students for each skill, where they are going like to have a huge debate about what is the best reading strategies, for example. Reading is a nightmare for gifted learners because they interpreted things differently and they are always stuck in their ways. So usually reading classes is going like to be a really huge debate among ourselves. And sometimes we didn't even couldn't find the answers. So I just like sometimes I tai cheat the question. It means that I say that I'm going like to go back. Go to back and think about it. And then they are driven and motivated. It means that they are going like to disturb you in the middle of the night to check whether you have marked my answers or not. And they don't want simple annotation. They just want personalized, targeted, specific feedbacks. For example, if I underline what will be the best answer, what will be if I did this also, so it means that sometimes I had sleepless nights. Not sometimes, most of the time. Okay, so before I go to the long-term strategies, we also have boot camp, for example, TED. This is unlike the TED that we watch on YouTube, but it's just academic boot camp where we drill and hone their skills in answering techniques, because whenever that I say that they need a template, but sometimes they don't follow through because they think that their answers are bigger than the scheme. Okay, and then we also have TED, Kilas, Camp Intervensi Latihan Luar dan Sekolah, and this is when the time with a little bit of structure, we are also want like to have fun time. So we do little mini projects for them, like to just cover everything from the textbook. And one more thing, we use textbook as a reference, but we have different syllabus which is adapted from UKM. Okay. And then this is what I want to focus the most because it's going to be the last aspect of this sharing session. I really focus on real life application, personalized feedback, and reflection. So when it comes to self-evaluation, this is like the powerful tool for excellent students. I came up with really simplified rubric for writing and speaking, so they are able to think like examiner or markers. It means that they are able like to evaluate their own pieces of writing and also their friends, because they value their friends' feedback as much as the teachers. And then I also integrated AI. I fully utilize the privilege that where all students have the gadgets and they have the gadgets by themselves. So I use AI, this tool, in doing the diagnostic, in using it as a diagnostic tool in speaking. So this app names is Small Talk to Me. When they speak and fulfill some of the speaking mini tests, and they give a really accurate feedback and also analysis. For example, how many times that you say very in your conversation? 41 times, one of the students, 41 times in the span of 10 minutes. And I think it's also a good starting tool for students like to start speaking without being feeling judged, because it is much easier to talk to the camera than to other people. So that is my starting point. That's because I have found the dead end with my student who refuse to talk. So I said that, okay, talk to your tablet first, and then we improve along the way. It's not free, but the first time is free lah. So it means that if you are willing to invest some money, it will be a really great purchase. And then last but not least is the unsung heroes, the guided brainstorming. This is, even though it is simple, but it is useful for my students because we need to build framework. We list the keywords and vocabulary in under themes, and also we discuss the tone and ideas. And I would also like to focus on consistency, like Ustaz Sir Haziq mentioned just now. This is not 1 year's progress. We focus on lower secondary. Since they were lower secondary, we organize annually mini debate competition where they have done a lot of research and how to craft their arguments, and this is skill are carried into upper forms, and this is how they learn how to craft a really good comparative analysis essay. And we also force students to join international English writing competition because they are also creative, so we don't want to limit their creativity. And we also have been blessed with prep time. So during their lower secondary, we did a lot of project-based learning. Simple project, for example, My Idol, and then they need to research it and then present it so that they are able to have a really good critical thinking, analytical skills. And the outcome, Alhamdulillah, we as the school, we are proud to say that all 11 SPM candidates scored A+, achieving a GPMP of 0. And I don't see this as just a number or statistical victory, but it's also the value that they embed in their learning. For example, the student who were once silent or shy now confidently led this discussion, and even they are not afraid to try anymore. And whenever that I say this is going to be really introspective to me as well as a teacher, because I've never been challenged. I've never felt challenged as much as when I taught them, because they demand answers. It means that they are not going to let you go if you give very superficial answers, and this is very hard when it comes to grammar rules. Like, how do you teacher, why is it like ED? Why is not ES? And then I'm going to be, don't give me headache. I have so much thing to blah, blah. But I enjoy the banter. And I think that the student who thinks that songs are irrelevant, he is able to craft a really good response when he's writing about review or perhaps restaurant or other things. So behind this result, I would like to also shout out to the kids. I love you all so much. You are my first time baby. And then thank you for all your dedication. And to my school administrators, Yang Mulia Puanku Nur Suriati binti Besar, my principal, and also my PK1, Dr. Muhammad Ghazali bin, nak sebut semua ni, bin Tahib, and then to all my English panel colleagues. This is not one man's job. Because this is a country's initiative. So the burden is on all of us. And I would like to thank Pendang district as well. I think that I was challenged and inspired by how dedicated you are as a team. So you should be proud of yourself. And then, so before I end, I know that I said I end too much time already, but so let's rethink the meaning of gifted. It doesn't mean easy. It comes with a lot of hurdles. I know it might seem small to some people, but this is my way of sharing things. And I will also share a quote that I live by. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. And let's be consistent. Let's be compassionate. And that's all from me. Thank you.